Welcome back to The Hidden Queen, the true story of Susan Pevensie, Chapter 6, The Churches. The church smelled of old wood and candle wax, and something else, something that made Susan's chest tighten with longing. She sat in the back pew of St. Mary's, hands folded in her lap, watching the morning light stream through the stained glass windows. Cold light, gold light. It fell in shafts across the stone floor, illuminating dust motes that danced and swirled. Gold. Why did gold always make her want to cry? First time here? An elderly woman in the pew beside her leaned over, kind face. Yes, I'm not really sure why I came. The Spirit brings us when we need to come. I'm Eleanor. Susan. They sat in companionable silence through the service. Afterwards, Eleanor invited Susan to the church tea. We're a friendly bunch, mostly old women like me and young mothers looking for a community. You'd fit right in. Susan hesitated. Come on, Eleanor said. Worst case, you have terrible tea and biscuits and never ever come back. Best case, you find what you're looking for. I don't know what I'm looking for. Eleanor smiled. Even better, then you can't be disappointed. Susan started going to St. Mary's every Sunday. Not because the sermon spoke to her. They were fine, but they bounced off the surface of her mind without quite penetrating. But because of the people. Eleanor, who'd lost her husband in the war and her son to cancer and still believed in goodness. Joan, a young woman with twins, who was always frazzled and always kind. David, the vicar, who had a gift for sitting with silence and not trying to fill it with easy answers. They became her church community. Not family. Nothing could replace what she'd lost, but something, connection, belonging. One Sunday, after the service, David found Susan sitting alone in the sanctuary. You look thoughtful, he said. It was just the light, the way it comes in through the windows. It's beautiful. It is, David said, and sat down beside her. Can I ask what brings you here, Susan? You don't strike me as someone searching for easy comfort. I'm not sure what I'm searching for. It's honest, very honest. I felt, Susan struggled for words, since I was very young, I felt like I'm missing something, like there's a hole inside me, and I don't know what would fill it. But I thought maybe God, maybe church, and has it helped? I don't know. The services are lovely, the people are wonderful, but the hole is still here. David was quiet for a moment. Susan, can I tell you something? Sometimes the hole isn't meant to be filled. Sometimes it's meant to be honoured, acknowledged. The ache for something we've lost or never quite had, that ache is its own kind of prayer. Susan looked at him sharply. What? The longing itself, the searching, the aching, that's prayer. That's reaching towards God even when you don't know his name. But I don't know what I'm searching for. Susan, maybe you don't need to. Maybe the reaching is enough. Susan told Margaret about it over tea that Thursday. He said the ache itself is prayer, that the searching is enough. What do you think about that? I don't know. It feels like I want it to be true, but it also feels like giving up, like accepting I'll never find what I'm looking for. Margaret poured more tea. Maybe it's not giving up. Maybe it's making peace. There is a difference, you know. How? Giving up is despair. Making peace is acceptance. You can accept that you don't have all the answers and still keep searching. Keep reaching. Keep hoping. You're very wise, you know. Margaret laughed. I'm very practiced at not having answers. That's different. Over the next few years, Susan tried other churches too. She tried the Catholic church across town. She loved the rituals, the incense, the sense of mystery. The Quaker meeting house. The silence was both peaceful and unsettling. A synagogue once, drawn by something she couldn't name. She sat through Sabbath services and wept without knowing why. Everywhere she went, she found the same thing. Good people, beautiful rituals, moments of transcendence, but never quite what she was looking for. Still, she kept going, not desperately, not frantically, just consistently, showing up, opening herself to possibilities. It was Eleanor who first noticed the pattern in Susan's books. They were having tea after church one Sunday. Susan, Eleanor, Joan, and a few others. "I've been reading your books, dear," Eleanor said. "They're lovely. But I've noticed something." "What's that?" "There's always a lion in every single book. Sometimes central, sometimes in the background, but always there, always watching them with us." Sad. Susan's teacup clattered against the saucer. I hadn't realised. "Who is he?" Eleanor asked gently. "The lion?" "I don't know. But you love him, don't you? Whoever he is." Susan's eyes filled with tears. "Yes, I think I must, because I keep writing about him." Joan leaned forward. "Susan, is that what you're searching for in all these churches? Are you looking for the lion?" "I don't know. Maybe. I just know that when I see gold light, when I smell certain scents, when I hear particular music, I ache like I'm remembering something I've forgotten, someone I've forgotten." "Someone who loved you?" Yes, someone who loved me more than anything and who I love back. But I can't remember who or why or when." Eleanor reached over and took Susan's hand. "Then keep searching, dear. Keep writing. Keep reaching. He's out there, waiting for you to remember." "How do you know?" "Because that kind of love doesn't just disappear. It waits. It's patient. It hopes." Catherine was 12 when she asked to come to church with Susan. "Why don't you go every week, Mum?" she asked one Saturday evening. I'm looking for something." "Have you found it?" "Not yet, but I found other things, good people, community, moments of peace." "Mum, can I come tomorrow?" So Catherine came, sat beside Susan in the pew, met Eleanor and Joan and David, and afterwards, walking home, she said, "I liked it. Not the sermon, that was a bit dull, but the people and the way you looked when the light came through the windows." "How did I look?" "You looked hopeful, Mum, like you were close to finding something." Susan pulled her daughter close. "You're very observant." "I get it from you." Margaret had never been particularly religious. One Thursday afternoon, Susan mentioned a meditation session at the Buddhist Centre. Would you like to come with me?" Susan asked. "I'd be nervous to go alone." "Of course. Though I warn you, I'm terrible at sitting still." They went together, sat in the quiet meditation hall, tried to find stillness, and afterwards, having tea, Margaret said, "Did you feel anything?" "Yes, I did, but I don't know how to describe it." "Try." "I felt close, like whatever I'm searching for was right there, just out of reach, behind the door I can't quite open." "That sounds frustrating." "It is, but it's also hopeful, like at least I know it's there, even if I can't reach it yet." Margaret smiled. "Keep reaching, Susan, keep reaching. You'll get there." The years passed. Susan kept going to churches, temples, meeting houses, kept searching, kept reaching, kept opening herself to possibilities. And while she never found the door she was looking for, she found other things. Eleanor, who became like a mother to her, who died peacefully at 85. Through Catherine's teenage years, David the vicar, who taught her that questions were as holy as answers. Small moments of transcendence, shafts of gold light, smell of incense, the sound of bells, glimpses, hints, echoes. Not the thing itself, but reflections of it. And maybe that was enough. One Sunday, when Susan was 45, a visiting speaker came to St. Mary's, a woman from Tibet, a Buddhist teacher. She spoke about sacred searching. Sometimes we search for the divine in sacred places, she said, but sometimes the divine searches for us in ordinary ones. And sometimes the searching itself, the longing, the aching, the desperate reaching, is the presence of the divine. Susan sat in the back pew and felt tears slide down her face. The searching itself, maybe that was all she'd ever have. Not the finding, just the searching, the longing for something she couldn't name, the ache for someone she couldn't remember. And maybe, just maybe, that was enough. After the service, Susan told Margaret about it naturally. They were walking through Oxford, Catherine ahead of them, 17 now, nearly grown, applying to universities. She said the searching itself is a divine presence. What do you think about that? I think maybe she's right, because the ache is real, the longing is real, and if it's real, it must come from something real, something worth aching for. Even if you never find it. I think even then, Margaret linked her arm through Susan's. "You know what I love about you?" "What?" "You've spent 30 years searching for something you can't name, and you've never given up, never stopped hoping. That takes extraordinary faith." "Faith in what?" "In the possibility that the thing you're searching for is real, that it exists, that it's worth finding, even if you never find it in this lifetime." Susan stopped walking, looked at her friend, her dear friend, who'd been beside her through everything. "Thank you, Margaret, for walking with me through all of this, for not telling me I'm crazy." "You're not crazy, you're searching. There's a big, big difference." That night, Susan sat at her desk and wrote in her journal, "I've been searching for 30 years. Churches, temples, meeting houses, meditation centers. I haven't found what I'm looking for. But I have found other things. Eleanor, who taught me that faith can coexist with questions. David, who taught me that silence can be holy. Margaret, who walks with me even when she doesn't understand where I'm going. And of course, Catherine, who gives me purpose and joy and hope. And a community that accepts me Even with all my searching and all my uncertainty, moments of transcendence, gold light, beauty, grace. Maybe I'll never find the door I'm looking for. Maybe I'll never remember who I'm aching for. But I do know the ache is real, and something real is always worth honouring. So I'll keep searching. Not desperately, not frantically, not fanatically, just consistently, faithfully, hopefully, because the searching itself is prayer, and prayer is enough. Next,